A little bit lower.
Spray
on. Right about here.
Yep, about right there. That's just it's a good altitude to be right there.
We got enough RPMs here. We're good. Keeping her steady. We got a high fence post there.
Yep. So you can pull up a little bit ahead of that. Yep.
And spray off.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So ever since I got into the whole aviation thing, and even before I got into the whole aviation thing, one thing that I've always wanted to do was learn how to spray, learn how to crop dust. It all started way back when I used to wash crop dusters at an airfield, you know, for extra money on the weekends and stuff. And then I got into the aviation thing, became a pilot, got all my ratings, commercial pilot and all that stuff. You know, kind of worked up to it to where I had the opportunity to make that dream a reality. Obviously, we're not going to be taking up this thing. This is a 800-gallon beast. You know, it's kind of one of the biggest ones that they make, and it takes years and years and years and lots of flight hours to build up to something like that. But what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be going with Kent, one of our local guys here who's been doing it forever, decades. He agreed to take me up today and just kind of show me the ropes on what to look for, how to approach a field, you know, just the very basic stuffs of crop dusting. All right, but let me show you what we are going to be taking up today. What we got here is a Piper Super Cub, a PA-18 Super Cub. You know, this one's obviously highly modified and had a lot of stuff done to it, but it's going to be a pretty awesome plane to take up, practice some tail dragger stuff. I do have my rating for that, but it's been a while since I've done that, so it's something I definitely need to polish up on. So we're going to be taking this out, flying around some fields, flying it low, and you know, just learning the basics. So let's get started.
Oh, we got a little bug in here.
Test.
On the roll.
Oh, we get to do a little crosswind today. Not much, but
I wonder what the crosswind. Let's get the weather here. 229er at 8 knots.
that looks about right. I'll be perfect doing some crosswinds when we get back. So we'll take off. We'll head out to the field. We'll get up to our 500 foot, at least 500 foot altitude for fairing.
Okay.
500 foot or above. And then we'll get to the field, and I'll let you, based on the wind today, you can see, and we'll look at the windsock out there on the oil wells.
And decide where I want to come in.
I'll let you kind of decide. You can just tell me where we're going to start, and then after we make a few passes, we'll go over to that other field across the road, and we'll practice going over those wires just a little bit.
Okay, that'll be fun.
But for now, just a matter of getting used to getting down to the lower level, and we'll want to stay at least 10, 15 to 20 feet off the ground for now. And that's where we're going to be. I mean, your typical spray, you know, you're probably 10 to 15 feet off the ground. You know, if you put your wheels right down on the crop, you're going to lose swath width, and then it's also probably not going to fill in. The spray isn't going to fill in the way it should.
So that's recommended, usually about 10, 15 feet?
Yeah.
That gives you a good, I guess, what's the word, dissipation?
It should, yeah.
Spread. So does it matter then if you got like 2 gallons, 3 per hour, the wind? I suppose all of that factors in on the height that you want to be, or is that just kind of your standard starting point?
Well, I think no matter what you're doing, you're going to want to maintain the same altitude no matter what you're doing. Yeah, 1, 3, or 5 or whatever, unless you're doing some ULV spraying, where like on those blocks that we were doing for the grasshoppers, you're going to want to be about high line height.
All right, come over here. We'll do a quick run up. Get this up to about 18.5.
Yeah.
Try to get it to not move anywhere. There we go. Good there. Carb heat on. See if it holds idle. Everything looks good. Double check everything. Mixture in. Carb heat's in. Lights good. Good to go. Make a radio call. All right, checking for traffic, just in case. You ready?
I'm ready to roll.
All right. Power's in. 6 back.
Got a little crosswind. Okay, get your stick should be neutral, Jeremy. Get your stick in the neutral position. No, push your stick forward, not.
I didn't push it forward fast enough?
Well, I don't know, maybe I'm not used to the stick back here, but if you want to get your tail up, you'd want to have your stick a little bit to the left in neutral position, and then that way then your tail will come right up.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't get my tail up fast enough.
But when we come back, we'll work on that.
Okay, sounds good. So we're going to do a pass around, just to kind of do a
Yep.
a safety pass.
Yep.
Make sure we're looking for wires and whatever else.
Every field you go to, you want to do before you start spraying, you want to make a trip around it. And sometimes if the wire's along the edge of the field, you might have to take a couple passes along there just to try to see where the guy wire, you know what the guy wires are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
We'll see if we can find one with a guy wire sitting. Those can be deadly if you don't, if people get in too close to the wire and all of a sudden there's a guy wire sticking out, you might be too late. You catch a wing and that's it.
A guide wire as in like from a tower or something? Or like a pole?
It's one that it'll be sticking, it'll come down from an angle, and an angle into the field typically is what you see. We'll see if we can spot one on a smaller high line. You're not going to see them on these big high lines like the ones down here. There very well could be one out here on this one. Okay, so where's your wind from this morning?
The wind is blowing that way.
It's kind of blowing toward the northeast, right?
Yep, that way.
So that means you'll start probably on what side. You already can kind of figure out where you're going to start.
So
right?
you don't want to go into your wind. You don't want to. So you'd want to start over here, right?
Well, no, if you start on the
yeah. So you start on this side because if
you
start
want
over here.
You want the spray blowing away from you instead of into the swath. Like when you turn around and come back, you don't want to be flying through your spray. So you gotta.
So you start on this side of the field.
You'll start on this side of the field, and so we'll make a trip around. In fact, we'll take a look at that high line real close down there between the two fields, so that when we do start spraying or doing that.
So we'll just come around here and we'll just take a look at this field. So you can. Looking for any kind of wires or any obstacles or any obstructions that you might be an issue.
Yep, you got that little, once you get over there, you're going to see that little knob sticking up. Other than that, there isn't, other than those little hills. Let's go up just to the north of that high line. Your RPM should be about, cruise RPM is what it should be about.
Right about here?
About 23.5, 2400.
Yep. So there's the wire there. And then there's that.
Okay, let's turn and let's head. Let's get. See these wires coming down on this pole right at the end there?
Yep.
See that coming down? Those lines sometimes, like with the yellow markers on them.
Yep.
They'll be sticking into the field.
Oh.
And sometimes I know they're doing better, but sometimes they don't have a mark like that, and that's what you got to watch for on your first pass. In this case, you're going to be cleaning up the end. You're not going to be spraying it that way, but you'll clean up there. Sometimes you got to fly right over the top of that high line in order to see those guy wires. Anyway, so let's get ready and get set up to start our first pass. Give yourself plenty of room on that first.
Come out kind of wide just to make sure that, because the wind's going to blow me into that.
Yep.
That's a neat house.
See those houses over there and see that field?
Yeah.
So if you have a north wind and you're spraying insecticide or something like that, you're not going to want to spray that field. You're going to want to wait. You want to wait till you get a south wind before you spray that.
It's going to blow right into that.
Yep, it'll blow right into the houses. You'll be getting some phone calls.
All right, looking for some tracks here.
Keep in mind the wind's going to blow you. At the end of your first pass, you're going to turn which way?
That way.
With the wind, yep. Okay, so RPM off a little bit. Okay, so let's line up on that first combine track.
And the RPM down a little bit, get that nose down.
Yep.
Then I would just simulate spray on.
Okay.
Get down a little bit further.
For now, we'll stay about right there.
Okay.
Okay, bring your RPM in now. There's a coyote down there, or a deer.
Deer, yeah. Antelope.
Or an antelope. Spray off.
Spray off. Turn to the right with the wind. Back around.
Okay, this time, Jeremy, just let me take it on this, just to start this run, just to show you.
Okay.
I got her.
Okay, you got it.
I can't really see here. Where's the end of that field? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Okay, so there's no obstructions at the end of that field. We're going to use this track right here. So you can come right down here.
Oh, you get
spray on.
Way down in there. Okay.
What's my RPM up there?
23.5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably about close to the right height, but don't worry about getting down that low. Just 23, 24. Okay, so then we'll go right. Okay, spray off right there. Okay, then Could be trimmed back just a little bit, I think. Got to pull pretty hard. Okay, so, and then we'll pull into the next one over here. Get right down there. You don't want to hit, you want to watch for a high fence post. Okay, spray on. And just practice, you know, you got a little bit of crosswind there. I'm probably going to increase the RPM just a little bit here as I get to the end. Spray off. Okay, you got it.
Okay, I got it. Coming around.
Okay,
got a little bit of a tower there. Come on, start coming down.
Just get well beyond that. Then you're going to dip down and...
I'll go on this one here.
There you go.
Okay, coming down. A little bit lower.
Spray on.
Right about here.
Yep, about right there. That's just it's a good altitude to be right there.
We got enough RPMs here. We're good. Keeping her steady. We got a high fence post there.
Yep. So you can pull up a little bit ahead of that. Yep.
And spray off.
Yep.
Make that turn. Coming out wide with the wind. Got enough RPMs. Put a little in there. Boy, you can feel that wind. It feels a lot different when you're heavier too, though.
What's that?
Oh, when you got a full load.
Oh yeah. If you have a full load on, you want to get your RPM back so you don't just go screaming into the field. I mean, then once you get back down there, then bring it right up to your cruise. So we were a little off that time coming into the field, but that's fine. You know, we're not really. It's not like we're trying to follow a light bar or anything right now. Hey, we're a little low. I think you want to be a little higher than that.
Okay, right about here.
Yeah,
and then we got that tower at the end there.
Yep, and so you'll have plenty of room to get up over that.
Okay,
spray off. Okay, up.
And turn.
Now you'll kind of have those obstructions coming in, so you kind of watch those, and then just dip down right onto the prairie there and do another one.
Okay, and
spray on.
Spray on. Got RPM back up. Nice altitude.
And it's 8-10 mile an hour, so you'd be spraying, in this kind of weather, but you got to crab into it just like you do when you're flying to maintain a straight line.
And spray off. Turn.
Well, this time we'll have a little bit of a hill to come over. So we'll do a couple more runs and then we'll go over and take a look at those wires. So obviously you're gonna, stay a little higher coming into the field this time. Spray on.
Spray off.
Spray off.
Up.
Okay.
That turn coming. You want to go?
So, should we take a look at this field here a little bit?
Which one?
This one right down here.
Yep.
Okay, so let's turn around to our right and let's fly right over the top and just a little bit to the left of that high line. We're going to fly right over the top of it.
So go keep going that way?
This one right back here that's at the end of the field.
Okay.
You can see this one, the very first pole has a guy wire sticking down, but it's not sticking into the field, see?
Yep.
But you kind of just go over lightly and look for those darn guy wires coming out, sticking out. I'll see if I can find one somewhere that's got.
Not that one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any at all. And mind you, while you're doing this, you're looking around and making sure you don't want to just focus. You want to make sure you're not running into higher high lines.
Like this one?
Yep.
There's a guide wire that goes that way.
Yep, and there's one going that way as well. So those are the ones you want, and then they mark them. They're marking them pretty good now. So
there's a little bit longer one.
Yeah.
There. And that one, so that would be a good example then. Goes into the field a little bit.
It goes out into the field, yep. But they've marked them well here. But sometimes you run into one that isn't. That's what those are they call them widow makers.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Yeah, obviously we're going to start over on the other side of the field, right? We're going to start on the east side of that field, and we'll fly over the wire, and I'll just kind of show you how that's going to work. And it's not like you don't have to just skim the very top of that wire, because you're going to end up cleaning up this field east and west, right? You're going to make probably 4 or 5 passes. I usually kind of look about in the field where I turn the spray on, and then if you can find some kind of landmark when you go to clean up the field, then you can see, well, this is the number of passes I need to make. So we're going to start right here.
Okay.
Well, the wire isn't there. Let's pretend we're over here.
Right where that
first pole is. Take the RPM. Okay, so we're going to come over that. Plenty high. Okay, then you can dip down on the field. Spray on. We're good here. Spray off.
Plenty.
But But you're eventually gonna, I mean, and again, you're gonna want to fly around that field as well. Let's just fly over here and just see what we got. And then I want to go toward the wire.
Okay.
You just got the road up here, so you got to watch for cars. This is a pretty busy road right now with that.
Oh, the construction?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta look out for signs sticking up, you know, in the field and things like that. See, there's some road signs down there and things like that. And the wind is blowing from the northwest or from the southwest. We'll go over that in just a minute. Well, in fact, we'll show it to you on this field here because there's less obstruction. As far as how to catch that last swath, I want to go over this wire one more time, and then I want to come back at the wire.
Okay.
And see if we can identify about where in the field. You know that you're going to have to make probably at least 3 cleanup passes to
catch that distance between the wire and where you're getting down?
Yeah. Just follow this line right here.
Okay. So plenty of room over the wire.
There you go down. Spray on. Okay, so we don't have to go to the end. We're going to pull up and turn around. We're going to come back at the wire. Okay, so let's just kind of ease down here. Let's say we're just coming across. We spray off about right here. Pull up. So you can see that that's probably going to be at least probably 3 passes that you're going to make.
Okay.
At least starting off. This stage of the game, you're going to leave yourself plenty of room until you do it more, you know.
Getting to know the airplane and getting to know everything.
Yep. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and take it this time. Let's just go over the wire. Make sure ahead of time just that you got plenty of room, because you don't want to have to be looking down and seeing how close you are to the wire and then lose your forward track.
We'll just go right over that same spot.
Let's go over the same spot.
Yeah, this is what would take a little bit of time to get used to.
Yeah,
as far as like,
you want to get used to the good and used to. I'm just kind of introducing it to you now, and you know, you're not going to do this too much yet. You're going to maintain plenty of height. You're just going to practice more or less just coming down onto the field now, and then getting straight and level. There you go. And you may need to make 4 or 5 passes, but that's fine.
I'd rather do that than be close.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to get too close to the wire.
We're just going to pull up.
Yeah, let's just pull up.
We're just practicing that wire.
And then let's just go back toward the wire this next time and use that same line if you want, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You go right at the tanks or whatever.
That line's pretty good. Okay, coming down. Right about here.
Off and pull up right there, yep.
That's good and comfortable.
And so that's probably at least 4 passes across that end. We won't worry about making the passes now, but I do want to show you one thing.
Okay.
As far as, okay, so you started on this side of the field, and I'll go ahead and take it. You get around to the other end of the field on your last pass. Now keep in mind the wind is coming from the southwest, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that in order to catch the end of the field, what are you going to have to do?
Well, you're going to have to overshoot it a little bit so it drifts in.
Catch the edge of the field. And so that means that on your first swath, if you have a wind blowing, you can start over probably 10, 15 feet. You know what I mean? Let's say this was the edge of our field over here. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're just going to put depending on the wind, you're just going to go right down the middle of that fence line, but you want to stay high enough. About right there is where you're going to want to be, and that'll catch the end of the field.
Gives it enough time to fall and drift into it.
Yep, and you're not going to be spraying herbicide. You're going to be spraying insecticide for the most part, or fungicide, but you still want to be able to catch the edge of that field.
So then on that side, would you just taper it back in this way a little bit?
Yeah, when you make your first swath, you could start over probably, when you lay your AB line or whatever you're doing, you could probably start in 10 foot closer or 10 foot away more.
So you're just shifting everything over.
You're just shifting everything over. That's all you're doing.
Okay. Let's do one more pass over the wire there and head back in and do some landings.
Yeah.
Okay. Flight controls?
You got it.
Boy, it's a beautiful morning, isn't it?
It is.
My goodness.
Yeah, most animals are going to run away from you, but an antelope, I had one follow me all the way across the field. I'd make a swath, and then he'd move over along with me, and he'd run right at me. He'd turn around and run. I mean, it's the dangest thing I've ever seen. I've never had anything but an antelope do that. A deer or elk or moose will run away.
Come down on this line here. Our line, pull up.
Yep.
Cloth off. Good. Head back to town then, huh?
Shoot a couple landings, yeah.
That's all fun and dandy, but I gotta be able to put this thing down too, right?
Yep. Actually, the wind out here, I mean, the windsocks they're only probably about 5 knots out here, I'm guessing. You can see the breeze on the pond there isn't not much. So it's a nice, good day to shoot crosswinds.
We're just gonna use the 1,000-foot markers as our kind of our beam point.
Yeah.
Here, just because of the lights and all that stuff. Wind's gonna push me a little bit. Low traffic. Good there.
Okay, now get
Wind correction in there.
just keep that a little bit to the left. You want to take off again?
Yeah, we can.
You want to try one more?
Oh yeah.
Okay, get your flaps up.
Flaps are up.
Leave this thing neutral now. Put it in the neutral about right there. Okay.
So you don't want to pull it back to keep the
Well, no, not when you're getting ready for takeoff. Just bring this to the neutral position, and then once you might have to ease it forward a little bit, but it may just come right up on you.
Last time
when you're taking off, you don't want to hold that back in because you'll stall it. It's hard to do that, but just put it up here in the neutral position,
and then just correct it for the wind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try this again.
And we'll see if that tail might just pop up on you, or we'll see. Otherwise, just bring your stick a little forward once you get rolling.
Okay, and we're wind correction in.
Stick forward a little bit. There you go.
Oh yeah, that felt much better.
Perfect. And keep that correction in there. You're gonna just hold that to the left a little bit. There you go.
All right. All right, power back. The white flaps, that nose coming down. But it sure is fun flying one of these things, though.
Yep.
This is what really teaches you how to fly, isn't it?
It does. Your stick and rudder skills definitely, I think, benefit from it. Last time we landed, I know we're right next to those VASI lights, so we want to be well beyond that. Basically beyond that cross Alpha 3 or whatever it is there.
I think, yeah, we were rolling right next to them, weren't we?
We were, yeah.
So just the 1,000-foot markers is our new 0 point.
You just got to get past those, well past them. We got plenty of room. You can't see those so well unless they're...
I can see them right there now.
Yeah.
Because they're right at the front of the 1,000-foot.
Yep. And here's where you want to hold your stick all the way back. Once you land and you're done flying, just get that thing back in your lap.
Well, that was good. I'd like to do one more.
Okay, well, just go ahead and put your flaps up. And if you want to just take off in the grass, you can.
Yeah, let's do that. Stick is in neutral.
Yep.
Flaps are down. Full power. We'll get that tail up a little bit.
Yep.
Wind correction there.
There you go.
Fun. Just get them wheels to stop spinning. There we go. All right. Yeah, we'll go do one more landing here. We'll call that a day.
Yeah, you got plenty of room to land, so yeah, you can land well beyond those lights. Stick all the way back. You're done flying.
Plant that thing on the ground.
Then someday we'll fly out to Luke's trip, and that's where you'll learn your short field landing skills. That's probably where you're going to want to have your 3-point landing thing down. Although you can, if you put the flaps all the way down on this thing, even put it on the wheels, you're coming in so slow, you probably have plenty of room.
Just drop it in. I'm basically wheel landing these every time, aren't I?
Yep.
All right, so we're back on the grounds. We got the Cub put away back in the hangar, and I got to say that was a lot of fun. I learned, I got to polish up the tail wheel skills a little bit. I got to fly with Kent, who's been doing it for decades, and he's just an awesome teacher, and I learned a lot from him and had a lot of fun today. Just going out there, flying low, flying over power lines, learning when to pull up, learning how to survey a field and what to look for, and then just getting the feel of flying low and on a straight line and calculating the wind and figuring out where to start in the field and things like that. And it was an awesome time, and I can't wait to get out there and do it again and continue to learn. And maybe someday I'll be able to hop in this thing. which would be pretty awesome. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end this video, and I'm hoping that through the whole process, I can just take you guys with me, and you can see from basically start to finish, or start to when I get in this thing. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end it, and until the next time, see ya.